Hey folks, welcome to the Almond Landscape YouTube channel. We released this video a little while ago and it was a lot of time lapse, which I really like, but I'm gonna do a voiceover or a reaction video or whatever, if you will, here in the Company Cam Studios. So let's watch this together. Here we go. Here's our intro. Hey folks, welcome to the Almond Landscape YouTube channel. Hey, here in the shop building our sign. But now we're getting ready to drill out the holes for the bolts to go up in here. And I want to, this is again one-handed how I broke my last bit, so let's see how this turns out. Let's see here. But when we're drilling, we're gonna be drilling up in here. There we go. That's exactly what I did last time. You don't learn your lesson, do you, Caleb? Oh, whoa, look what it did to my drill. I think it actually like torqued the shit out of my drill. Whoa, that's crazy. That could have been my wrist. Cool. So before I so rudely interrupted myself, allow myself to interrupt myself, we're trying to say you clean out the shavings. Where is that? You should have seen, bent that drill all to heck. It was crazy. But we're gonna take it, now I'm gonna do this the right way, and we're gonna, and as we're drilling, we're gonna back out and clean out those shavings. Holy cow, I drilled through my phone up above it. Jeez Louise, dude. Okay. So this part here, I'm fabbing out the, as Zeke fixes our door in the background here, the Company Cam Studios. Thank you, Zeke. He's tightening down that doorknob. So what I'm doing here is I'm sandwiching together some 4x6s over this sheet of steel here. And it's not core tin steel. It's just a standard hot roll, they call that. And I think that thing is 3/16 inch, or no, it's 5/16 of an inch thick of that sign metal there. And kind of this whole thing is being modeled, and all the kids there, our friend Mr. Hudson there on the channel, and Zeke and Levi here climbing up on the skid steer. But Miss Brittany making an entrance too here. But we're sandwiching these two 4x6s over the sheet metal here, and then I'm drilling through, we already drilled through the metal and marked each 4x6 and then pilot drilled through those, sandwiched together there with some C-clamps and bar clamps and all sorts of stuff, squeeze clamps, all the clamps you can think of, and planning it out, plotting it out here, and rocking and rolling through this. Britt's picking it up here to change some things on this layout and how we're going to do this. We're going to get some 2x4s under here to allow us to transport it outside. We're hauling the sign out right now. Here we are bringing this piece of metal up to the site. It took a lot of, I had to think a lot about how we're laying this sign out with all these vertical obstructions everywhere, and settled on this location here, which I liked. I think it turned out pretty good. And so we got the telephone pole there, which, you know, we're in the right of way, so I understand we may have to sacrifice the thing at some point. That's okay, I'll take my chances. Got the steel wrist in there. And carving out, just kind of preparing around the hole there, peeling around. I think Britt's in there doing that, yeah. And I'm gonna mute the background audio here because this is just gonna be hard for Hunter to edit. Sorry, buddy. But peeling out the bed here a little bit, just making more room for it as we go, and cleaning out the hole there with my, when I got my PhD there, post hole diggers, cleaning out the hole there, because you want that hole to be, when you're gonna set a post, you don't want to set it like anything. You don't want to set it on. Miss Britt there looking mighty fine, but you don't want to say, oh, I had to go out in the field, look for something. Wondering what I had to go out in the field for. It's weird. Yeah, but you want that post to sit on firm virgin soil. So we got that down in there, and now we're working on how we're going to crane this thing in here. Didn't have like a really any good grab point here, but should have had a hard hat on maybe, but whatever. Anytime we're working with stuff overhead like the guys are doing, that we got to put on a hard hat. But getting our post in there. Now I want this cantilever, I want this cantilever effect here, because what we're looking for is When we were out west, I saw a lot of signs. You know, a lot of the state and national parks have some really great signage, and really wanted to make sure that everything is looking super cool. And the way this is gonna lay out with the gabion baskets all the way around it, in case you didn't see it in the intro here, we've got this gabion basket system with these really cool Mexican river rock from Site 1 there, actually. And now we're working on getting this thing squared up and plumbed up to set it initially. So we're going to get it square and plumb, which is straight up and down, left and right, right? So I'm getting a little bit of 57 limestone in here, angular stone, so it's going to sit a little more stable and rest in. Again, taking a spud bar in there to consolidate that a little bit and get sure, you know, a firm base is critical to everything you build, right? And so now we're working on getting this thing squared up, plumbed up again, and just doing all these different checks. Britt's peeling off the tape there because we're wondering, she's worried that was going to cause it to rust in an irregular pattern that we're not looking for, right? Because the signage we're going to do over top of this is going to be really sharp looking. So she's peeling that stuff off. I'm contemplating a few different layout and a few different things because I drew out a plan for this, but I didn't really, you know, a lot of this just had to get freestyled. So now we're going to work on some temporary bracing when we do the concrete, and, you know, again, getting that braced and formed where it does not move or wiggle or anything. Mr. Levi in there getting ready to assist Zeke, and again, Mr. Hudson there, the boys having a good time here at the property. So we've got a concrete form spike in there, and we screwed it in for temporary use, took the skid steer away. Obviously it's sitting fine on its own. Brought up a mini skid steer bucket full of bag mix concrete, so that's looking good. Getting a few more form and braces mounted on there, and you can see I've got it temporarily suspended on some block and a paver brick there. Again, so it'll hold it up while we build the rest of the feature around it. So we've got that going there, and just constantly checking for square and plumb and making sure we're square to the road, you know, or that we're perpendicular to the road, you know, also. So I realize I'm not. So I've got a board on there I screwed on, and now I'm going to ratchet strap it to the 4x6 combo pair there, and I'm going to work on spinning this thing and rotating around. Well, I rotated it too much there and knocked it off our little our rest there. So Britt's got to come back over the skid steer, get that for me, pick that back up. Now we're going to reset the whole daggone thing. That was frustrating. Got it level again, get it plumb. Again, plumb is straight up and down, level is side to side, if you will. And Hunter with some nice choice of music there. I like that a lot. So now we're throwing in bag mix. Now we're throwing it in dry. And again, this is something we'll do here at the shop, but we're going to throw it in dry and then work concrete into the hole with it with spud bar and just work that concrete in. I'm not super worried about that. All I'm looking for really is solid ballast here. So, you know, ideally you're going to mix it wet above ground and then pour it in. So you got, you know, really thorough. I'm not super worried about it here. Again, it'll all set up. I'm not worried about it. And this were for a client, we're going to, unless it was specific dry mix that you would put in the hole, like that red bag stuff or whatever, you know, we would do that. So, using the steel wrist there to grab some stuff, move things around. I think we're beginning to pull off the project for the day here. And that's a good stopping point. So we're getting that. So we got the concrete. We're gonna let it set up because you don't want to wiggle. You know, added some more water there. A couple more bags, get them put away, and loading up the boys, loading up machines, calling it a day there. So happy with how that ended up. Let's see what else we got to say here. And look at the moon coming up. Isn't that beautiful? Beautiful there, evening there. Okay, hey folks, what's up? I don't know, day, whenever I get the next chance to work on this thing. So we've got this thing in concrete, as you saw in the time lapse. Our stability bracing here, which we should be pretty good. That's up temporarily. The basket's going to slide under there and support it. I've got to hoe this out just a little bit in here to get this leveled out, make it a little easier to slide material in there, and we're going to be in great shape. But that's really ultimately looking pretty darn good. I'm liking it. That's about how much I want the basket to come up on there, maybe, if that much. Because the idea is we want as much blank space around that. That's marketing, right? Blank space. You just want blank space. Simple, clean, easy to read marketing. If you look at the big equipment companies, their logos are clean and simple. Think about that. That's saying exactly what you should be doing for your companies. Clean and simple. Here we are. So now we're setting up we're setting up here to begin to set the baskets. And the way we're thinking about this is getting it level. These gabion baskets, again, they're just wire cage. Took our forming off there. Levi helping a ton, as he is so helpful around the place. Golly, how we love the kids. They're so cool. So you can see the sign, it wiggles a little bit there. So it's supporting itself. Now, if it were going to truly stay cantilever like that, we're going to need to ballast the heck out. We would need a lot more concrete, because that is a tremendous amount. I think that sheet of steel weighs 200 or 300 pounds. So we would need it to be very, very heavy with a big concrete footer on that post. Which, by the way, we did have to get permits from this through our township for the signage, which we did attain. So clearing off some geofabric. So on top of our compacted soils there, now I'm going to get some 57 limestone on there, and I'm going to build we're going to build our little wire cage here, again called a gabion basket. And we're going to have to start a subscription channel here with Brent No Shorts around here. Good Lord. We're going to have to get working on leveling up these baskets or whatever. Look at that dent in the excavator. Ugh, jeez. It's always something. So we're leveling them up. See, again, we're setting a level on there, getting them built up. And the reason I like that angular stone under there, again, we build everything on angular stones because it holds its structure, it holds its form. So I dumped it in there, and then I lifted the cage up to where I want it to, and then set it back down. So it actually worked out really nice there. Now we're going to fill it with the little itty bitty river rock. See, Britt's making a billion trips back and forth. That's not okay. We want to move our materials as close to our work area as we possibly can. And so, dang folks, I have to go to subscription channel here. Okay, so so now we moved our pallet of this beautiful Mexican river rock from Site 1, our friends at Site 1 there. And now the kids are just having a blast throwing all that stone in there. Throwing all the stone in there. It's so crazy. The kids showing up on the four-wheeler there, doing whatever they're doing, and we're getting this thing filled up. So this is actually a little bit tedious here, right? Like moving all this rock in there and custom placing it. So building these kind of things here, keep in mind like how that is. Now again, if I wasn't trying to manage 3 kids and just craziness, I would be a little more into like how specifically those rocks go in there for a sign. But again, here at Almond, when it's at home, we kind of get just done whatever we can, how we can. And Levi, Zeke, and Addison, they're having a great time helping us out. But when you're building these on a job site, you're going to leave the top of that basket open. You're going to fill it with an excavator. You're going to fill it with a skid steer. So your production is going to be a little bit faster. Well, that's all we're going to get tonight, apparently. So kids help a little bit there, and it's tough to get stuff done. I'd love to see, ideally, those voids fill a little bit better, but you got cheap help. But the kids had fun. They were giggling and laughing, having a great time. So tomorrow we'll take this, we'll turn another basket upwards. It'll get to about here. I'll probably cut this off. Maybe I'll put a cedar cap on it. I don't know, I'm just thinking that through. Don't overcomplicate it, but I think I will cut that off. I think that'll look pretty cool. We'll see. All right, good night, folks. Okay, so here we are with the hoe. I did this. We're gonna make some reels out of this. It's gonna be really cool. Took that grade beam with the mini skid steer there, or the mini skid steer with the hoe on the steel wrist. And I haven't really messed with the grade beam before, but it's a big set of iron beam attachments, and really it does an interesting job. I'll tell you, you got to be starting to get a little bit better with the excavator on that steel wrist, that tilt rotator concept, because that thing's got to move a million different directions. I've thought about redoing that to where it just kind of hung and dangled from the excavator, and you just more or less drag it, almost like a drag line. If any old timers listening know what a drag line is, but maybe to wear that, and that would just kind of self-plane that way. So I've been thinking about like welding a few different chain apparatus to it so that we can just do it that way. So, but again, the hydraulic quick connect, you got to have that even on a non-tilt rotator machine, just for going back and forth between buckets. And then you get the SQ oil to where you can go in and out of hydraulic attachments. But folks, the steel wrist, a tilt rotator, I'm telling you, once you have one, you'll never go back. And you just got to price this into your work, is why you got to have LMN as a budgeting tool so that you can afford this stuff. You put this stuff into the budget of your company, and it will tell you how you can afford this stuff. And the idea is you have your clients pay for this stuff. That's what you do as a professional company. You don't pay for this. Your jobs pay for this. Your clients pay for this stuff. And just as you get better and better as a company, all this stuff just keeps compounding on. I can't say enough for LMN. But we're just working dirt here, just getting the beds churned up and tilled up. Of course, we called utility locate services, so we know where everything is. But I'm just getting in there, just working. We got some really good compost in there, and we're just working the beds and getting them really ideal for planting. And that tooth bucket on there for that. But I'm taking some of that good soil, moving it back, grabbing my big bucket. Going to do some more grading here. Got everything twisted and tilted every which way. And just looking awesome. So there we go. There's a putting green video. You might check that out. It came up at least on my screen, may not yours. But we appreciate you. Like, subscribe, all that stuff. We got another version or another video that's coming out talking about more of the horticultural concept and stuff coming in here and building this thing, but just more grading, just getting this bed prepped and ready to wrap in a few of those vertical elements around there and get things really tidied up. So thanks for watching that video, folks. We appreciate you joining us. We're going to do another video talking more about the overall concept and design of and the vision for our signage here at the shop. Here at Almond HQ, our office, and maybe help folks understand a little bit more where we're going, and maybe it helps you. That's our goal here at the Almond Landscape YouTube channel, is to help folks, not make the same mistakes we have, help you become a better hardscaper, landscaper, business person, whatever the case is, and we hope you enjoy it. Thank you. If you haven't liked and subscribed, please do all that stuff. Of course, check out Kid Contractor Podcast, us on Instagram, all those things. Thank you, folks. Appreciate it.